Okay, hi everybody. Happy Monday. I hope you're all having a fantastic start to the week. In today's video, what I'm going to do is teach you 5 ways that you can increase bookings to your private practice. I know it's so much fun and it's not even that hard. 5 quick steps, and I'm going to give them to you in 5 minutes or less. How's that? So the first thing, of course, is include a booking button on your website. And by booking button, I don't mean put a button that says book here, you click it and it goes to an email form. Do not use email forms if you can avoid it. All your practice management software, whether you're with Power Diary, Clinico, Haloxy, whatever it is, should have a link that you can use and put behind that book now button on your website. Here's why it's so important. Did you know that more people are likely to drop out and click out of your website if they have to email the practice to book an appointment than if they get to book one themselves? So if you don't have a book now button, get that button on. If you're worried about taking deposits for bookings or taking payments for bookings, simply have 2 buttons. One could be a button for an inquiry call and you link that to that appointment type on your website. And the other button can be for existing clients, right? So say, book your inquiry call here, use this button if you're an existing client, right? And just makes life so much easier for anybody visiting your website, okay? If you don't have that, if you've got people going to fill out contact forms and explain in an email why they want to work with you, and then it's going to start, no, you're losing clients and you're leaving money on the table. Do not do it if you can avoid it. Number 2, make sure that your Psychology Today profile is up to date. If it's just a pet peeve of mine, that if your Psychology Today profile says something like you're talking about yourself in the third person, stop. Talk about yourself as a real person. When you're saying Brooklyn's approach is this, that, and the other, all you're doing is you're creating a wall between you and the client. You're creating a disparity there, and that's the opposite to a therapeutic alliance. And we know that we need that therapeutic alliance in order for clients to take the step to book or to get a treatment outcome or all of those sorts of things. So you're not doing yourself any favors by talking about yourself like that. On your Psychology Today profile, if you're not getting traction, if you're getting lots of views and nobody's really making inquiries, or there's a big difference in the number of people that are reading your profile, maybe you've got 1,000 people reading your profile, but you've only got 10 who are making an inquiry, we've got a problem with the copywriting. That's a signal for you to get your copywriting updated and sorted out. If you need help, let me know. Step 3, put a link in your emails always to book an appointment with you. Even if it's with an existing client, always include your booking link and make it stand out in a really nice professional way. I don't mean highlight it in red and bold it and underline it. No, you don't need to do all of that. That's a bit scary, isn't it? But make it nice and make it feel like it's really inviting for that client to click the button, okay? The next thing to do is make sure that your follow-up sequence is in place, and that your follow-up sequence includes a link to your diary so that people can jump straight in and book with you. So follow-up sequence needs to be activated whenever you've consulted with a client and they haven't rebooked. They've said to you, oh yeah, I'll get around to it, or yeah, I'll do it next time. If you don't have a good booking process in place, and you don't have strong, robust booking policies that your practice can lean into, and you're just leaving it up to your client to book their next session, again, you're not helping your client and you're not doing the right thing by your private practice, okay? So always including follow-up emails, links to book, okay? Even if the client did attend and you're following up to tell them what a great job they did, or to send them a piece of research or literature or a meditation or whatever it is you're sending them, always include the diary link, okay? And then the last way to increase bookings into the practice, rather, is to have a look at the last 12 months in the diary at your dropout rate. So the dropout rate is anybody who either didn't rebook despite your attempts to rebook them. They haven't rebooked. They haven't rebooked even if you didn't try and rebook them. They've just disappeared. They've just gone somewhere. You don't know why they just stopped, okay? But they're not engaged with the practice anymore. We all know in business that you're more likely to re-engage somebody who is already part of your practice than to get a cold person in, to get a new person in. So it's absolutely worth the 5 minutes it's going to take to write a quick email to everybody who's dropped out or no longer working with the practice or no longer coming for counselling. Check in on them. Hi, how are you? It's been 6 months since we last caught up. How are you going? Ask a question. When you ask a question, they're going to write back and they're going to say, oh, actually, da, 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 or you read my mind. So ask a question. You need a re-engagement sequence. That's like 2 or 3 emails that you're going to send out to clients who are no longer connected with the practice. And really, asking lots of questions is a great way to rebuild that relationship. So dive into their file, see where they were when you last connected with them, and just say, hey, I was thinking about you and I was just wondering, how's this all going now? Like, where are you at with it? Open the conversation. And you're all really, 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 really good at conversations and talking, and all you're doing is you're developing that therapeutic alliance again. Okay. And how good would you feel if you were the client and your counselor reached out to you just to check in on you and you hadn't spoken to them for a few months? Wouldn't that feel nice? Wouldn't that feel good? When you feel cared about, when you feel held, when you feel supported, when you feel like whatever. So it's a good thing to do. So there are your 5 things. Booking button on your website, update your Psychology Today profile, make sure your link to book appointments is always in your emails, set up your follow-up sequence for existing clients to include the link to your diary. And last of all, reach out to people who made inquiries but didn't proceed, reach out to people who started but didn't finish, people who were connected with your practice within the last 12 months, but they've just kind of disappeared for whatever reason. And you will start to be able to capture some of those people back and start to fill your diary up again in a way that feels really aligned and ethical and consistent with all of your values. Sound good? Yes. If you do this and it works for you, let me know. If you get stuck with it, of course, let me know that as well so I can help you. As I said, my big intention for our group this year is to get everybody's diaries full by the end of the year. So yeah, if there's anything you need, just reach out. Thank you so much for being part of this group, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.